Hello, this is Future Quentin here. How are you? Um, Initially, when I shot this video, this was very early in my YouTube days. So I just noticed that some of the video is a little bit smeary in certain places. So pardon that, I'll try my best to clean up as much as I can and make sure that everything looks on point. There are going to be really two cockpits featured here, but with the third one coming from an old cockpit of mine that is still around. One was meant to be a gift and one is meant for me. Um, so my job is to make this as entertaining as possible. So please sit back, enjoy, and laugh at times with me as well. Thank you. On the reflections. As I stated before, I do enjoy my sim racing. Not as much as I used to, 10 years ago, but I still do enjoy it. It's something that I don't have as much time to do anymore. But it's something that I still enjoy doing whenever I just need to chill out. Now, obviously, because I've got a bit of a few setups, they take a bit of time. So, today I've got a solution. This is something that arrived, I'll say about a few weeks ago. I just hadn't had a chance to open it over the holidays. It is coming from a man named Xander Lawson. He lives in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. And his company basically is called Labyrinth Prints. Now, when we say prints, we're not talking about artists formerly known as Prince or the purple one. We are referring to prints as in the printing press, as basically these are 3D printed solutions. Now, with that being said, I'm doing an unboxing and I'm having a hard time unboxing because I'm doing the wrong way. So, what I asked him to do was do a couple of solutions for me pertaining to some mods that I wanted done to sort of at least add a bit of realism to whatever we're doing. And when it comes to stuff like direct drive belts and direct driven wheels and things of that nature, things get a little bit tricky. But I'm not here to chase all that stuff. What I'm here to do is sort of try to get some mods that we can add a bit more realism to the entry-level wheels. And so I asked him to do a few things for me, and I'm hoping that he's gotten all this correct in terms of the order. We'll talk about it a little bit more once I'm done with the unwrapping, so bear with me. So here we have all the items laid out. Pardon the dildo looking thing, because I don't know what to explain. This is basically supposed to be for my shifter. I'm so sorry, I feel like I should pixelate this. I don't know what this is. I'll have to talk to him and then I'll write this in post and actually add the section. I'm guessing that this is his logo. And so maybe that's his company mascot, which will represent it when we put everything together. But we don't know exactly how this is all going to pan out. So bear with me once again as we actually bring the actual steering wheel to us and then sort of the shifters as well and work it out from there. Pardon the notchless wheel. I actually did it intentionally because I did buy two separate wheels. One is going to be going to my friend for his present. It was supposed to be a Christmas present, but we've passed that. So I guess it's now a birthday present. So I asked Mr. Lawson that he stock up, he makes adjustments accordingly. This one doesn't have the SAS badge, whereas this one does. And this one is going to be predominantly for me and maybe my little daughter for us to play with. So I said, you know what, pink will be fine. I could have spray painted it red, but I chose not to do so. So what we're going to do here is we're going to quickly discuss the components that are here. Yeah? We start off with all these components, such as this is going to be for the shifter mod. I'm guessing this is going to be one of those brackets that's going to be in for the shifter mod. That along with its counterpart, which is the black one. So it's going to be that. So these are the basic things that you're going to get to start off with. And this is what they look like on opposite ends. I'll also attach some pictures. Look, if it comes down to just having the whites and the blacks, that's fine. And a bit of grey, I think that will make it make sense. This is once again the dildo looking thing. This is going to be where the shifter is at. So I'm guessing that these are going to take over the components pretty much, which are going to go into a typical G25 or any other sort of generation of shifters that they made thereafter. Right? So that's actually going to be the top, which is going to do the shifting. And these are going to be the gates that are going to turn that into some kind of sports mode, I'm guessing. And then we also have the other opportunity to sort of turn it from sequential to to a much more traditional shifting mechanism, I'm guessing. So what stands out to me about these particular two is one has that granular effect, you know, and it's got the printed out sort of names with the gates etc. Maybe it was an original model, or maybe it's just the pink. It's got that gap in between. I don't know if that's a manufacturing fault or no, or maybe it's just a quirk of that particular unit. But then again, there's screws in there, so it should all come together. Whereas the grey one doesn't have that. Look at that. Grey one is really interesting. Camera is out of focus a little bit, but really I like some of the artifacts that it created, and obviously some of that coloring isn't as consistent underneath, and that's fine. Of which there is a missing piece. Now I don't know if that could have been, that popped out somewhere, maybe in the packaging. I'll check again one more time without further ado, just to make sure. In case a piece fell out in transit, I hope not. We'll try it without, and then if we see that there's something not quite right, we can always reach out to Mr. Lawson and he can always send us another piece. But that's really some of the key differences. And then obviously this is going to be what stands in between. I'm guessing the two, this is going to be the adapter. So that's going to be in between the holes that we have preset. And that's going to make the difference when it comes to whatever it is that we're trying to do here. And I'm guessing this is exactly all the positions where the screws are going to be, so that tends to line up. Now, because I didn't get all the screws all in one spot, I'm guessing I will take 3 from here, as they are 2, 4, 6. I'll take 3 from there, and then when it comes to the shifter, I'll take a couple from there too, and just sort of double them up, and we'll figure it out as we go. If not, I'll have to go get the screws specifically. Not sure what this is. I'm sure I will find out as time progresses. But this is the basic apparatus. So we're going to try disassemble the wheel, get that out, you know, make sure that we don't damage any wiring. We're also going to try the shifter first, simply just because I think the shifter is going to be a little bit easier to actually see what we can do. So let's give it a go, and let's see what we come up with. If I do get stuck, I'm sure there are forums and stuff that can help. It would be nice if Mr. Lawson puts maybe a small instruction or something with a link to a video, just to make sure people know what to look for and what to search and how to find it, and get the best help possible. But if he printed some manuals himself, that would be great. The prices are very fair. We'll discuss the pricing and explain each unit and everything else that goes down when the time is right. But for now, let's first actually get to a point where we make sure that it's working. Now, I do have the back pedals and all this stuff that came with this, but I just removed it because I think it's just to do with the current setup that I have. It was a bit more annoying and actually in the way. But for people who have it, not to worry too much. Like I said, hopefully there's not going to be too many issues with a piece or something missing. Okay, so the next question is, how do we pop this open? Okay. I'm guessing that rolls? No. There's a screw there in the middle. Bear with me for a second as I look for the screwdriver. Don't you just love it when you're looking for a screwdriver? You get every screwdriver that you want except for the one. You get every screwdriver except for the one that you actually want. I'm not sure if that's going to go in. It did. Lucky me. I think that the reason why we're modding this is just to get a bit more stick. Pause. Just to get a little bit more, and I don't want to say shaft, but that's just how it goes. It feels like that this is just by itself. It's not much. So sort of adding that, and that sort of fits into the build like that. So that keyhole is actually designed with the bigger stick in mind. So he actually 3Ds it, and you can actually see the screw holes in there. I hope y'all can see that. And then just lands it in here like that. So that ends up going in like that. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. That's the gate itself. Now inside here, we've got all these mechanisms, and I'm guessing that these mechanisms are the ones that tell us what gears are which. From reverse to up knot, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe 6 gears depending on the car, or 5 gears in the reverse. So I'm not quite sure what we need to do, but I'm guessing that the mod itself is usually just a topical mod. It's not you necessarily opening up everything and sort of adding the nitty-gritties. I've seen people do the rubber band tricks. I've seen people do a whole bunch of other bits and pieces. Me, I'm just going to guess here and guess that this will probably just go somewhere here in some way. Let me just have a quick look. Like that. There we go. So that puts that in that sequential way. It no longer shifts left and right. It's now just sports gearbox, which is fine. And then for the classic, which would be this, I'm guessing that's basically how we get it to just get a bit more accurate of a shift, I guess. So there are screws that are there to hold this part down. So I don't think it's supposed to be upside down. I don't think so. No, definitely not supposed to be upside down. Unless, maybe. Boy, does that feel stiff. Okay, so we have to really get accustomed. Leave it with me. We'll get a feel of what's going on. Because I get the feeling that either it's up here, if the holes are lined, sure. So either it's up here like this, alright, you know what, out of curiosity, we'll try a few things and we'll see how we go. I think that's sometimes the best way to handle these things is to see how you go first. But alright, that will be like the initial mod. I'm trying to work out where this all comes in, or what this is. But it feels like that adds a bit more, maybe it adds a bit more oomph to this. I don't think so, because this has a straight shaft that isn't in there. So unless it's meant to be, I don't think so. Huh. Some things you're better off just asking, because it looks to me like it was supposed to add something, because inside there's some kind of screws. I'm sure he'll explain, because that's in its own league. But this is basically what the gate would sort of do. So you tell me. So we have that, and we have the grey. So what I have here is 4 screws up at the top. Now this doesn't even need screws because I think this is already fixed. So maybe this is a version 2 of some kind. So that's one. That feels better. Yeah, to me that feels so much better. I can't tell, you know, I can't tell. Let me look around and see what my options are in terms of actually getting this to stay fixed. Now, first and foremost, there's going to be a screw shortage. So I'll divide the screws amongst these two. In terms of screws that I need for those ends, I'll leave these screws here for now. I'll put this screw, since we're at 2, because I think this is going to apply to my friend's one as well. Please don't tell me I'm forgetting where my screws are all. Yep, the holes are lining up. I need to be careful how much I tighten. If not, I need to put a washer in some of these. Yeah, especially that one. It's going to need a bit of support. I'll put maybe one diagonal. Again, because of no magnet. Now I've seen ones where these have actually got magnets at the end, at the gates, and the magnets are there too. Add a bit of salt and pepper, I guess, and add a bit more tension to when you shift the gears to give it a bit more of a real feel. Now my biggest issue is now just getting used to the either sequential or unsequential. I think that's really the biggest concern for me, anyway. And I'm hoping this is the flathead, correct? Okay, so I'll remember that. So this is the neutral stance. Feels like it's a little bit closer down this way, but let's find out. Oh jeez, really? Am I going to keep going through this every 2 seconds? Ooh. Oh no, I'm going to try one more. Just trying to line up the hole so I can fasten this. What? I'm going to leave it like that for now, because geez, that hole doesn't seem to want to line up, and I keep dropping screws. Okay, so that's not secure, that's fine. For now, I just want to see if that actually in practice holds. Uh-oh. So, snap. Okay, so that snapped. Not good. Not good. So he should have added a bit more oomph to that. But to me, the bottom feels fine. Okay, very interesting. Alright, let's leave it for now, because I don't think that there's any point in complaining. these are interesting as well. We'll leave that for now and we'll continue pressing forward. Hopefully it doesn't happen to Simon's as well, because I don't want to give anything a bad review unless I have to. Let's try the shaft. Please be magnetic. Okay, so something is happening, definitely. I think something is growing, definitely. Yep, okay, alright. So we're cooking with gas, that's a start. Bear with me. So, to go on, I need to make sure that my screwdriver so we're getting a circle. Feels right. Yep, that feels so much better, significantly. So now the issue is getting those gears up. So the up, you know, because traditionally the stick is tiny, like it's pretty much, so this gives it a bit more of a solid feel. So my thing is, what does this, where does this fit into all this? Is it like a secondary washer maybe? Or maybe it's got to do with a different type of mod. Anyway, we'll test out that theory soon. So, my thing is, I wish there was a way to sort of repurpose this just to stop grit and debris from getting in there. Which I think this mod would at least fix. But alright, let's leave that for a second. The biggest issue now is to try to work out, as is, how does the steering wheel work? So the steering wheel, to me, is going to be the big one here, because steering wheel seems to require a little bit more. Oomph. But the screws here, so far I put 4 screws. I think I dropped one somewhere. I've got 2 screws here. So screw-wise, I think we're okay. Really, nothing else really came out. In fact, talking about screws, let me just quickly look and see where the holes are in that gap. Sometimes I can't really see anything. I don't know if the camera will catch that, but sometimes it's really hard to get through those holes and try to sort of see everything. I just need to clean up some shavings, because that's what it looks like inside. Like I said, it looks so suspect. So the holes are not perfect in terms of alignment, especially the bottom ones. I can tell that they're a bit more problematic, but I think I managed to jam this one in, which is not something that I want to say. sometimes, you know, what do you do? Okay, so broken pieces, they're not the best in that end, but now it's the bottom part, not bad. Honestly, I wish I could double up the layers, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. Who knows, maybe I'll put some rubber bands in there or something and just add a bit extra tension if I need to, just to give it a little bit more. But so far so good. We've got all the screws in there. Like aesthetic. So now we need to figure out how to disassemble this and roll with it. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is going to be a factor or no. He's got the option of removing it or adding it as he pleases. There's no horn button in there, so that's a start. So that's the first part, and I don't think there's any piece of it in there that I dropped. So next up is the Big Daddy. Alright Q, you got this. I'm going to try this in one take, and hopefully I'm not going to stuff up too much. Now, because this is a bit more intrinsic, the lighting is not always going to necessarily capture everything that I'm doing, but there's some screws here. Hope I'm actually getting them out and not stripping them in some way. Let me just check that. Oh, so let's see if I can get a smaller screwdriver. Doesn't have to necessarily have a long shaft, it just needs to be just a tinier screwdriver. Oops. Let's see. Okay, that is a Phillips, but might be a little bit too big. Let's try this one. It's a neutral size. Let's see if that actually locks into. Yep, it does. I can feel that. Cool thing about this is you can extend the handle. Once again, I can't tell. Getting the right feedback. Okay, so that's screwed down. This one, it's the split screws here. too small. The screw just fell. Oh la la, that's not good. I'm seeing a ribbon cable. That's not good. I hope that's not from here, because I literally just unscrewed something, barely. And I literally just unscrewed something barely. So I will be touched. Yeah, I'm hoping that ribbon cable is not anything from something familiar. It's not going to be good. That screw and that screw are out. This screw and oops, still a bit of a screw here. Very awkward angles they did when it comes to this. Almost like they didn't want us to mod. Nudge nudge, wink wink. Okay, I still have one screw that's still... Is it one screw?
Just trying to see where I can grab the ribbon or anything in there so I can actually pull stuff out. Ooh. Got a screw in the Xbox button. Where else? So no screws there, no screws there. Screw in the Xbox button, which is a pain in the ass to get out because of the angle. Feels like. Let me see if I can find something a little bit thick. We'll try the old jeweler set and see if that can help with that angle. Very hard. Very, very hard. What we have for now. Now, after doing a bit of research, there are 6 screws that are supposed to come out. It's just that this one is a stubborn screw. I always tucked away. So once you can't see them, they give you hell. So I need to get that 6th screw out. I can tell I've already got 4 out there. So that 6th screw, like I said, I saw a piece of ribbon. I'm hoping it's not from that. I'm hoping it's from a switch project that I was fixing earlier on. Okay, so we've got screw number 5. So 1, 2, 3. One, two. So, ooh, we need to be careful because we've got ribbons here that are connected and we don't want to damage anything. Well, it would be great if there's a nice easy release, but no. You have to position things a little bit better. Yeah, they really didn't want us to get in here and do what we need to do. Jeez. So that's the inside, pretty much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. So it's not 6 screws. I think each model is different. Maybe the G20 or the G29 maybe has a different layout. So with that being said, that's the internal, and that's the bit connecting. So I can gladly say that that ribbon that I saw earlier, this one, would have been from a switch that I'm working on where the side rails are probably supposed to be connected, because I don't see too many moving parts in this. I'm guessing if it was the G29, this would be a different story. Anyway, what we have to try to do now is disconnect some things on the actual unit itself. Disconnect some things, and once we disconnect some things, just checking on my camera to see if we can capturing everything. Yeah, once we disconnect some things, we'll try to put all that stuff back on the actual unit. And then from there, try to work out but to make sure that all the buttons and everything are intact. So Inside you have about 6 screws. It's a bit of cobwebs or something built up in there. Generally, buttons, everything else feels intact. Oh, that's probably not what I wanted. So XA, let's see if I remember my Xbox buttons correctly here. Make sure I've got that configuration correct. That's the top of my head. I don't want to stuff up. Y and B should be, Y should be at the top and B should be on the side, if I'm not mistaken, just to make sure. Yep, Y and B. Alright, so buttons. So for this needs to come off. So how do I make sure that all that comes off and stays in its lane? First and foremost, I would have to connect this. I think that would help. Okay. So we need to figure out how to pop these all out. So let's get all this stuff out first. Get the feeling that this face is what's holding this in place. Now I'm just wasting time. So I need something else. This takes a while. Not easy. Not necessarily easy. It requires a bit of patience. Yep. Okay, yeah, because there's buttons here. Buttons are stopping everything, so it has to come out. Buttons have to loosen up. Oops. The squealing sound. Because that button. Okay. So, it's making sure that all this little stuff aligns. That's where the headaches are. We'll come back to you in a minute. The room is so tiny. We'll come back to that in a minute. Firstly, we need to figure out LB, RB, all the buttons where they belong. What was that? Okay, so that button needs to go back. This would definitely have gone faster if I had an extra person here. Or maybe it would have gone worse, I can't tell anymore. But jeez, not easy, not easy. It's quick, don't get me wrong. Okay, so this is us just mucking around and sort of having a look. I've screwed all these other screws back together. The question is, how do we connect this and this back together? Now, I would recommend, I want to put the camera back up here. I would recommend starting off first, just getting the faceplate, the faceplate back in its position. I think is the best course of action. Getting that into the position for obvious reasons, just so that it can secure these buttons. Because what we have here is we've got an Xbox button that's tucked away, because you won't be able to see this until we flip this over. But all these buttons need to be secured properly, I think, because they'll keep popping out. And when they pop out, they're a bit of a pain in the bum to line up again. So I would say we start off by making sure that the board lines up, screw holes line up properly, and we don't have too many issues putting all that back together again. Please tell me that you've lined up. That screw's in place. Okay, so we've got most of it. Let me check. It feels right. So now it's just about making sure that the connector connects, number one, and then on top of that we can line things up the right way. Again, I wish we had a bit more cable to work with, but it's one of those things where you just have to. Again, here we go again. I hope I'm getting this correct, because really we have to try to get this in as little text as possible, because this is going to be so first we've got the wheel, which has its own set of problems. We need to figure out a universal screw system for all this, just so that way we don't have too many keys running around. Let's first try these keys and see how we go. So we tried this one, too big, step down, too small. Okay, so where do you fit into all this? None. Okay, so we'll move on to these ones because there's some imperial and symmetric, so sometimes you have to muck around and get an idea of what's going on. It's not quite right, so I'm guessing this one would have to do the trick, right? Yes, it does. Alright, so we've got that going for us. Because that's going to fasten and secure the wheel, which we can worry about that last. Actually, for now we first have to figure out. Ooh la la. I need to get that drill and the adapter and just get this out of the way, because it's taking forever. For the adapter. Jeez. Okay, that might be it. Let's give it a whirl. Sticky. Okay, so see if we can get a big key, which is that one. So my question comes down to selections now, which is why the deep dish is always the preferred method. Something is not quite right. Let me just make sure I know what I'm doing. The problem that we face is buttons, 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 buttons. So my only issue so far because this predominantly was leaning in and the machine was sitting on top flush. So my thing is, because that's sitting in flush, that back cover is on there. Let's first try this and see. Because my issue is the buttons. My issue is selections. Predominantly is my issue. But let's try. issue is button accessibility. Because these wheels if I made it too low, it would have ruined everything. This design, so many questions. So many questions. Oof, 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 oof. If I put this in there, so the wheel is just about as thin, will it give? And we've got the other holes that are there, the adapter. I would cover the adapter. Look, best thing we can do is try. Best thing we can do is try. Best thing we can do is try. Too big. Okay, let's start there. So, I'll come back to you in a minute. I'll come back to you in a minute. That wouldn't work either. Because what I wanted is a situation where we could access the buttons. I think I've got a few tricks up my sleeve here. And hopefully these tricks are going to work. Technically what's needed here is, because this is not a deep dish wheel per se, usually you'd need a spacer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a different way of doing it. Maybe it might work for me, maybe it will not. But we'll try something nonetheless and see how far that takes us. Firstly, hopefully the screws are long enough. That's going to be the biggest issue. Because typically what I was going to do was going to put this on top and then try to add the screw. Okay, we could try that and see if that's going to help even a little bit. Because if it does, that solves one major problem that we might face. If it's too slippery, we'll try something else. First, let's try screw them on and see how we go. So I think that's going to help heaps. Because the way it is at the moment, geez. That's a bit too tight. Okay, so we've pressed down, so that's not going to go anywhere. The G is dead in the middle, at least we can see the G. Yeah, alright, we'll give that a try. At least I can see some of the buttons now. It's not perfect, by any means, but at least it's better than nothing. Because the biggest issue was, will the screws be long enough to carry through, which would be that, I'm guessing. So the other issue is we need washers. Yeah, because had I put that on top, I would still need washers. So those are the screws that I've designed with that in mind. Yeah. Alright, so let's first try this method. This method doesn't work because we've got the G here. We've got the G here. If push comes to shove, you can always take this out, put this here. Let's put it here and drive the screws in there, but then they won't have as much. Yeah, I think it's better off to do it this way. Clap this one in for now, and then if need be we'll get longer screws. Won't need be, but just in case. So realistically we won't need longer screws, actually, because I don't want to over tighten just yet. I'm going to take the slow and steady approach just to give it a bit of a feel. Yeah, because I think that probably works out a little bit better, just because that sinks right through and goes down to a deeper level. It also secures everything. Arms feel like they are where they're supposed to be. The only issue, like I said, is the distance between that and the screws. And I'll add some washers later. For now, I'm not too concerned about the washers. I'm more concerned about just making sure that things are fastened properly and parts do not fall. And then what I'll do is I'll call them up and make sure that we get something, or put some cardboard or something as a spacer. You can always find things to put in there. That's not too much of an issue. I could always maybe even just put something with just a few holes in it, just to clean that up a little bit. Not too much of an issue. Yeah, not too much of an issue, because I'll tune it along. But yeah, for now, the plan is to just do my thing and figure it out as I go. I don't know where the other screw went. I'm sure it will pop off when I'm screwing everything down. So so at least so far it's closed up now. And yeah, the plan here is to get the wheels, at least get that first basic bit in. But those washers need to be a little bit bigger, so that might cause problems later. put 3 of these aside for now, because I get the feeling that my friend will also have the same issue. Because we didn't always get the right screws all the way through. I feel like I should grab the screw from here. Yeah, it feels like I should grab some screws from here, just to make sure. These are fairly robust screws. It might work in my favor. Let's try. Let's have a feel of the threading and try. Where are we? Where are we? That's a significantly bigger screw. I think it's actually, is it? I'd say so. I need to get some washers pronto. Let me just quickly check if I do have any washers laying around in here. Because if not, that'll be the first thing that I do. Let's get some washers for this pronto. I think the washers will have to wait until tomorrow. For now, let's just do what we need to do. Make sure that things are actually working first, and then I'll figure out the spacer solution as well. I wish you would have told me, just to remind me that hey, I might need a spacer as well. Maybe he thought I had a deep dish, like a seriously deep dish. It's not his fault. Just wish that that feels alright. It feels pretty good. Without over tightening anything, it feels pretty good. Okay, so what we have here, they're not far, and that's the good thing, is the pedals are not far. The only issue is selections, you really have to know your controller. But for all intents and purposes, that's a bit better than what this was. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all this stuff up, and then when I connect all this stuff up, we'll give it a whirl and actually see if we've made any form of improvement and adding some level of realism to it. And then I'll get back to you guys and tell you what I think, and whether the spacer is a make it or break it situation or not. I'm just hoping the motor built into one of these is powerful enough to drive all this, because again, it's excess weight that it's carrying. So, okay, I think it's time to actually try this and see if it works. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to unplug this, and then I'm going to plug in the console, the USB port, and then get it to start up and see how well it actually spins the wheel. There's a hub here, which I just need to make sure it's got power. And yes, the USB hub seems to have some kind of power. Okay, so we now have power. Because we can't access the home, so let me see if I can grab a controller. Oh, no. Okay, so that worked. So that's the console. So the console is on now. I need to center the screws a little bit better, but so far so good. We're working. We're cooking with gas. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a video in a minute. Oh. Let's see if we can actually pick and get a feel of how this thing drives. We're going to put it in HDMI number 4. That's the profile. So I'm going to put this up here. Ooh, voila, that's not straight. Let me make some fine adjustments here. Yeah, I think that'll be better for all the parties involved. How's that? Yeah, I think for now we'll put you right at the back, and then just sort of, can I do an out zoom? Maybe just capture the image a little bit wider, if it will let me. 0.8, give us full wide, just so that the wheel and whatnot can correlate to one another. Alright, let's try that for now. We're just experimenting at the moment, so we'll see if this works, because again, we don't have access to the proper controls for now. I can always add something, put a piece of wood or something. I'm not too fussed about that. Now, what we would have to do, if this will let me, okay, so this will let me, let's find a game. Let's find a racing game. Look, I think our set-top horse would be great. Your racing simulator, sure. I'll take that. Just adjust my seat. Okay. Let's hope there's no copywritten music, or just the cabling and all this other stuff later. We just want to give it a test. Skip all that. Skip all that. Signed in. Don't know where the remote is. Alright, so what we just want to do, this is side drive. Practice. Ferrari. Let's try that. I'm looking for the volume button. Well, I guess that's nowhere to be found. Ah, there we are. Alright, let's load it up fairly quickly. We've got the car. Let's drive. I just want to feel what the wheel feels like. Let's practice. So, okay. Oh yes. Whoa. Let's start again. Jeez. Okay, so first things first, I need to adjust some things. Pardon me. I'm going to put you on pause for a minute. me to adjust the tension on my wheel because it keeps wobbling everywhere. Okay, so I think the weight is fine. There's a way to adjust this and stop it. We're going to need to tighten something. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, let's try this again. Right, so that's our first gear. Okay, very good. My brakes. So where's my clutch at? Oh, auto. Ah, it's using the plates. I'm thinking, why is my stick not working? Okay, so I need to get the wheel. Okay, alright. Let me calm down. I need to practice a little bit. Firstly, I need to adjust my, I need to get the shifting in check, because I need to figure out, because while the tectonics and stuff are great, or the pedal shifters are great, I would like to be given the option of adjusting some things. Let's see if it will allow me to change my shifter a little bit. Preset, so wheel pedals, yes. Can I use the stick? Okay, so use H shifter, yeah. Can I create? No. I don't know why. Try again. Because pedals, while they're great, I would like to start off at neutral. I would like to start off at neutral and work my way into. I'm not worried about all of that. Suspension electronics, suspension setup IO. I think let's drive. Okay. Not accepting my quick shifter. So it's automatically doing it for me. Okay, so it's automatically doing it for me. I wanted it to tell me what my shifter is like, because what we're trying to capture, now I can look down here, what we're trying to capture is that. So I'm trying to capture, you know, the whole process of shifting it. So 1, you know, 3, you know, like 2, 3, 4. So I'm trying to capture all that. But it instead wants to use the pedals, and to me I want to disable the pedals, because that should give me an idea. Alright, let's see if maybe we can try another title, because again, the buttons here don't matter as much when you're playing, to be honest. It's just a case of just when you want to do stuff. Let me just have a quick look and see if there's any other option I can try with the shifter. I'll adjust the camera angle up there for a minute, just so that we can have a quick look. Thought maybe an F1 game or something might be there. Burnout Paradise is not the right game for that. Rally? Let's try. Let's try Dakar. Let's see if maybe, just maybe, that won't be problematic. Because what we want is to get the shifting aspect of it, and we want to capture everything. And capture what we're doing. Next time I'll do a peep, maybe a secondary camera, capturing this angle as well. But for now, let's just wait for the game to load and let's see how we go. Sometimes it feels like my gearbox is the wrong way. I don't think so, but you never know. Okay, so press A to start. Let's give it one more try. Play tutorial, sure. Maybe I should have gone for the menu. Think, sure, why not? Let's play the tutorial and let's just see if it'll. Oh wow, that's taking forever to load.
Welcome, partner. I'm your co-driver. I'm here to help you with the navigation. You need to follow my instructions, which I'll read from the road book. Let's test your driving skills if it's the Car 18 qualifying round.
Yes, let's see if we can try this stick again.
And welcome to Dakar 18. On this tutorial, we are going to train the basic elements so you can begin our rally raid. The objective in the Dakar rally is to find and validate all the waypoints in our route before crossing the finish line.
Skip all this for a minute. Let's just skip the driving.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
No. Is it left trigger to brake and reverse? No, this is the brake. And as much as I would like that to be the reverse, again, clutch, not happening. I'm working out, is my shifter connected for no? Let's have a look and see. What the options are. Let's have a look. Okay, gameplay, cockpit, settle, fitness, controls. Discard all that. Options. There we go. So, steering sensitivity, throttle access. Yeah, I'm not worried about all that. I was hoping it could give us a little bit more. Gear up, gear down. Transmission. How come we just don't get given transmission? That's not what I'm saying.
500, get ready to turn left. Attention, more or less visible. Rocks.
No. At least the wheel feels legit.
Caught between rocks. Danger 3. Attention. Waypoint okay.
I was not paying attention. My bad. I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going. I think I'm off bumps. Look, I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to figure out if my shifter is working. So how do I test it? PC, maybe. PC might be the next step. Let's have a quick look again. Games. What else do we have that I can actually check my shifter? Burnout. Car rally. Dirt 2 would be the next step. I'll come back to that in a minute. Formula 1 anywhere? Okay, let's try that. It would give me the option for manual and sure. Alright, let's try this one more time. Yeah, I'm not worried about all that. Thank you. Let's see. Settings. Graphics control, vibration, force feedback. Okay, so we've got a steering wheel. Thrustmaster. Really? G920. Enable. G920. That's our baby. Okay, so. So the generic settings. All I just wanted to know was, do I have the option? I just want to play something real quick, man. Jeez. Driver career. Look, I just want to try quick solo. We'll try time trial. Australia is fine. assists. Driving proficiency amateur, blah, 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 racing line. That's not what. Gearbox. Gearbox. That's what we're looking for. Right. This director assists. Gearbox, automatic. We want manual. Okay. Let's go to the track. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so not allowing me to change. Cannot for the life of me. Okay, so either I haven't connected something up properly. I'll come back to this. Yeah, I'll come back to this. But so far so good. What I'll do is I'll try and connect this up to the PC and have a quick look. It's no matter what I'm trying to do, just can't seem to get things to line up properly. So I kept getting headaches trying to test my H pattern. So now I'm going to try it on PC and see if we have any luck through that avenue. Let's first grab that. Let's have a look. Alright, let's see if I can test with the G hub. Let's see. Oh, did I just pull that? Let's test out some things.
Like I said, your house foundation is going to get its own video. So
I am clicking on things. I don't know why I'm clicking on things, but
next video to come out is going to be non-near related, and I beseech thee, viewer, to give that a peep.
keep clicking on the wrong
Anyways,
things.
offer from the Near Iceberg video still stands. 1 million likes, and I'll release my karaoke cover of Way to the World. So do with that information what you will. Thanks for watching. Till next time.
We'll test this. The wheel is calibrating itself. It's playing a near video. So we've got a G920 desktop default device settings. Okay, so what else can I do? Can I test this? Okay, alright. So pedals. So pedals fine. I get the feeling that that's where we're at in terms of range. Ooh, yeah, that's for real. You know what I'm saying? For real. Oh yeah, that actually feels like a wheel. Yeah. So my question is shifter. So what else can I add? Can I add a shifter? don't think my shifter is being... Oh, okay, I get the feeling that the shifter is not connected somehow. Wish there was some kind of light that it would give off to indicate where we're at. So I'm going to disconnect that for a bit and check. Let's have a quick look and check.